How's it going, guys? Your boy Jetscreamer, FTO, doing it up.
I think that was a murderer.
First off, I want to talk about Taskmaster, issue number 1. I've read this comic book. I've been a Taskmaster fan for years. I know a lot of you guys may like Punisher or Moon Knight or Vigilante or all those other kind of like anti-hero or mercs out there. Taskmaster is not an anti-hero at all. He's full-on mercenary. And he has the power to pretty much to see something once and just mimic it himself. So he can do Daredevil's acrobatics. He can do Wolverine's berserker attacks. He can do Captain America's like technique fighting style just by seeing it one time. That's what makes him one of like my favorite villains ever. Dr. Doom is pretty much high up there. Like that's my favorite villain. I know I support Batman and talk about Joker a lot, but all time is Doom, then Taskmaster. Two of the greatest villains out there. But this issue here is pretty much just an inner monologue with him talking about like a day in his life of the Taskmaster, about how he goes out, he camouflages his face, he does like little small jobs for people. He's doing a job for a casino where he was pretty much mimicking this guy who's going in every single week and just robbing this place blind. Dude had a technique with cards, he just switches the cards by putting his hand over it. Taskmaster figured it out within like 5 seconds, got the guy booted out, got his ass handed to him actually. The guy got his ass whooped because he was cheating inside a casino, so it was a really, really good like beginning to the story. Later on, he meets this woman. She says she has a job for him where he has to infiltrate Stark Enterprises and destroy all these files that Stark has inside of there. Because if Stark gets this out, it's gonna cripple her company. So that happens. Taskmaster pretty much goes inside of Stark Enterprises, does his job. He uses techniques from a ninja, stealth moves. He takes out some guards. He uses acrobatics from Spider-Man and Daredevil to get past lasers inside of it. And then he has to take out the big bad himself, the fucking Golden Avenger, Iron Man. Takes him on. And when he does that, he pretty much just treats Iron Man like he's a bitch. Tosses him around, dodges all of his attacks, because Iron Man can't shoot the blast inside the room, otherwise he'll blow the entire room up. So Taskmaster is a very smart guy. He's a full-on thug, mercenary, but he's a very smart thug and mercenary. He knows exactly that Iron Man is going to show up. He knows that he has to stop Iron Man and get out of there in time. He shoots a guard right in his spleen, right in his rib, and he tells Iron Man, like, if you don't get the guy to the hospital, he's going to die, or you can take me to jail. You choose. Taskmaster takes off. Iron Man's like with the guy, scans his body. Taskmaster lies through and through, miss all the organs inside of his body. Reasons like that would make Taskmaster a full-on badass. I love Taskmaster. You should love Taskmaster too. You should definitely read this book. It's like a 4-part series. It's really good. Cost me 50 cents. It should have cost me more because this book is amazing. Next up, I want to talk about Adventures of Superman, issue number 2. I've been avoiding this for a while because I always thought this book was a bit of a perversion towards Superman. Like, you got a new 52, he loses the trunk, he loses like his old school morality, but they still give us the old Superman that we're all used to, even though DC considered the old 52 pretty much not real, not existent. It's not a part of like anything anymore. So it's kind of like a slap in the face, but I said I want to listen to these, I want to read these books, I want to find out what they're all about. And I read issue number 1, and issue number 1 was like, it was intense. I don't know if you guys read issue number 1 of Adventures of Superman for the new 52 series. It's fucking good. It's really good. It's old school Superman, you know, like truth, justice, and American way. I want to help out people just to help out people because that's what I do. I haven't read too much of the new 52 Superman, so I can't really compare it. I read what I read in the first Justice League issue, and that Superman was a bit of a dick to me. He was an arrogant asshole. He was cocky, and I didn't like him one bit. So reading this back to Adventures of Superman, this was good. It was 2 kids pretty much pretending to be Superman. One of them was Superman, the other one was a bad guy. And they were playing around. The one who was a bad guy was Brainiac. He had like the city of Kandor in his hand. And Superman was like, it kept switching back from the kids to like looking like Superman fighting Brainiac back, forward, over and over again. and it was a good little back and forth between the two. And the kid who was the bad guy didn't want to be the bad guy. He wanted to be Superman, so he kept switching up his bad guys over and over again. So he would switch off and say, I want to be Bizarro. So it'd be Bizarro versus Superman. The kids, like, you know, do their thing back and forth, because we all pretended to be superheroes: Wolverine, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. We all done that before. So it was those two going up against each other. Then it was General Zod against Superman. There was Mixed-Up Spitalik against Superman. So the kids went back to being Brainiac again, and they got tired. They said they wanted to stop playing. The kid was playing Superman, so let's go to my house and we can have food. My mom's cooking tonight. So they went home, like, talking to each other. When they were talking, the kid who was the bad guy said, I get to be Superman next time. The other kid said, well, I get to be Doomsday because Doomsday wins. The other kid's like, no, like, Doomsday doesn't win because Superman always wins. And I'm going to tell you the very ending to it. Superman's sitting at the top of the barn. He's looking at the kids. He's smiling, listening to these kids talk about how it is, like, cool to be Superman. It was a bit omnipotent, but it was a good thing to see Superman, because that's what Superman does. Superman does stuff like that. He's just an all-around good guy. He's good-natured, and that's what I like about Superman. The fact that he has the power of a god. He has, like, all this, like, this strength, all this intelligence. He created all the robots. He orchestrated. He made his Fortress of Solitude. He did all that himself, and he's still a good guy. He still wants to help out people. That's a lot of patience for one person, especially a person who was raised to be human. I admire Superman. I miss the old school Superman. I wish that I wish Superman was back again. I wish the Superman that I knew and grew up with was here to stay and all around, stuff like that. So on my next video, I want to do one of the issues of New Avengers Volume 2, I think it is. I don't know which issue I want to do yet, but when I do an issue, spoiler alert, I love this entire series until Civil War, and you guys are going to find out why I love this series so much. So I may do more than one issue of the New Avengers. You never know. But until next time, you guys be frosty. Alright.